Okay, what we will do now is I will provide details of the lectures. Okay, I see that some of the other students have also joined in. People, some of them, they couldn't participate in the CBA today, but I had requested all of them to join in so that any doubts they have, it gets clarified in today's call. In case there are still some doubts regarding the lectures, then you can always ping me separately. I can try to check and get back to you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen and I'll explain to you what exactly is the requirement. Okay, just let me share my screen. Are you able to see my screen, please?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes,
Yes,
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.
Okay. So can I request all of you kindly go on mute? That would be really helpful. So this particular, the next module. Yeah, the next module which we will be touching upon is the lecture part. Okay, the lecture on the Srimad Bhagavatam. There are two sets of presentations which are required to be done by all the students, along with the OBA, CBA, the sloka recitation, everything is the normal things. But for the Bhakti Vaibhava 1 course, there are two additional components also. One is a class to be taken by each student on the Srimad Bhagavatam. So they will be conducting a Srimad Bhagavatam class exactly similar to the way it is normally done in our respective temples. You would have seen where a class is given by a speaker who sits on the Vyasasana and he gives the lecture on a particular sloka. Yeah? So, and the second presentation is a formal presentation, which is done after picking a particular topic. Now, the second part is something which will come at a later point of time, after some more units are covered. But the focus for this particular discussion is on the Srimad Bhagavatam lecture. So, for all practical purposes, I'll be using the term lecture over here as different from presentation. Because presentation means it presupposes that you have a PowerPoint slide or any other slide where which you will be projecting and then you will be speaking. So for a Srimad Bhagavatam class, exactly the same way it is done in Mayapur or your respective temples, we speak and then we give a class. That's the expectation over here. Okay. So the focus of today's discussion is what is the requirement from the student side for a individual student lecture on the Srimad Bhagavatam. So that is the requirement for this particular phase of the study. Okay. Now, all the students, the basic requirement for this is that every student needs to select one sloka from the Srimad Bhagavatam from any of Canto 1, Canto 2, or Canto 3, any of these. So it does not have to be a sloka which has been covered, even if, for example, currently we are somewhere in the second canto, I think we are in the third canto, but it need not be a sloka which Prabhu has yet covered. Even if it is beyond the 6th unit, I think it's perfectly fine. So that's the way. So you don't have to be bothered about it, but it has to be from within the 3 cantos, first 3 cantos. So you have to select a sloka and assume that you're giving a Bhagavatam class on that particular sloka. Okay? And that is the requirement for you. You need to plan to give a talk for about 45 minutes. Okay, you'll be allowed when you come on the screen in front of the judges and the participants, you'll be given 45 minutes. Now, within that period, you have to obviously touch upon a specific set of things and you'll be evaluated on those specific parameters. Okay. Now, it is important that seamlessly you cover all those aspects because you'll be evaluated on all those parameters also. I will discuss on those parameters also as part of this discussion. But when you structure your presentation or when you structure your lecture, just ensure that each of these get covered. And unlike a presentation where we would say, this is my personal realization or this is my preaching point. No, in case of a Bhagavatam class, as you say, the speaker will seamlessly say, he'll say in my personal experience. So that way he'll say, or he may say, when we as preachers, when we go in front of the people, this is what we could preach. So indirectly, you're talking about the preaching application without actually putting a pause over there and saying it. I hope that's clear. So when the parameters are discussed, you need to ensure that each of those parameters are ticked off when you actually structure your presentation, your lecture. That's the key important thing. The second thing you need to note is that time is very, very critical. Okay. So it's a 45-minute slot which is allotted to you. And within that 45 minutes, you need to plan, for example, if you want to say Mangalacharan at the beginning, you are allowed to say that. If you want to read the purport, you can read the purport also. Depending on how detailed it is, you can minimize it or touch upon only the minimum ones. If you want not to read the purport, just summarize it. That's also perfectly fine. It's purely up to you to manage your time. But the key thing is you get marks for also how well you have managed your time. So even though 45 minutes are allotted to you, ideally you should stop your lecture by around the 38th or 39th minute. By about 40th minute, you should surely stop and allow about 5 minutes for the audience to ask you questions. And there will be a specific evaluator also who will be either, it could be me or it could be somebody else who may join in, some senior evaluator. They will also ask questions on what you have presented. So as long as you provide that 5-minute time, you get rating for that also. For some reason, if you just continue with your lecture till the 45th minute, we will stop at that point. You would have lost the opportunity of opening it up for questions, due to which you will also lose marks on that account. So it's purely a function of how you plan your time. So when you're giving your lecture, ideally what we do is we practice it a couple of times. Sometimes there are lots of points, lots of Srila Prabhupada's lectures available and lots to in those 45 minutes. But your ability in how you deliver the message within that 40 minutes, that's the key. Yeah. And still covering all the aspects, because you may get hours and hours to speak about them, but that's not allowed here, because we just get 40 minutes and then after that 5 minutes for the question answer session. Yeah. We will ensure that maybe at the end of 35 minutes, 35 or 37, I'll announce it later. We will give you a signal that you have another 3 minutes to complete, or at 35, 37, 40 minutes, I'll announce it before your class. You will get a signal. And beyond that, you need to cut short and cut it out. 45th minute, that's a hard stop. You will not be allowed to speak beyond that. So whatever the status. So I would encourage you to prepare your notes, practice it, minimize the talk anywhere between 36, 37 minutes onwards up to 40th minute. Please plan to close it. Or if you get a signal from your own clock in front of you, if you know that there are only 3 minutes, cut short your discussion and stop it at the 40th minute, so that you don't miss the advantage of opening it out for the questions from the other people. Yeah, that's the important thing which I wanted to say over here. Now, we will just go through this instruction sheet. I will be sharing this instruction sheet with all of you also through WhatsApp. But for the purpose of this discussion, I will just go through it question by question. And if anybody has any doubts, you can throw it open over here. Or if you have any doubts, maybe during the day tomorrow, you can just ping me. I will just clarify it. Because once this is frozen, then I wouldn't want to get into continuous, clarification from 25 people, 30 people, different sets of clarification. That will only add to, the mail chain and confusion also. So kindly concentrate on these questions carefully, so that the attempt is that all the possible doubts, it's a FAQ of sorts. This document will also be shared with you, so don't worry about it. But for the purpose of this discussion, please focus on the screen. Yeah. So what is it? 40 minutes morning Srimad Bhagavatam style individual lecture to access the lecturing skills of the student. After the lecture, the student is graded by the other students, and the course coordinator by a detailed assessment and feedback form. So this is again something which we will be doing. What typically happens is after 40 minutes of your class, 5 minutes of your questions, immediately we will share a Google form within the chat window, and every student is expected to click on that feedback form and rate the student, the speaker, on each of those parameters. So you'll be allowed about 3 to 5 minutes for that. Within 5 minutes, you can also feedback in those forms. Once that window is completed, that Google form will close for that particular speaker. Then after that, the house is open. We may request 1 or 2 of you to openly share feedback with the presenter. And then the evaluator and the specific judge who has joined in, he will also share his feedback. That will be for about 10 minutes or so. So 40 plus 5 minutes for questioning, plus 5 minutes for feedback, plus 10. So that will be about an hour for every speaker. That's the time we will be allocating for each speaker. So that's the cycle we will follow for every speaker. Yeah. So that's what is mentioned here, that there will be an assessment and there will be a feedback form also for every presenter. That is what is mentioned. What is the duration of the lecture? It's 40 minutes of speaking plus 5 minutes of questioning. That's the way you should take it. Okay. What if I speak for less than 40 minutes? Negative mark starts if a student speaks for less than 35 minutes. So some people, they just come and speak for 20 minutes. That's not done. It's like going in front of an audience in a temple and just speaking for 20 minutes. That will not serve the purpose. So like an OBA, some people write it in under 200 words also, OBA. We have rejected them. So there is a minimum requirement, and that will have to be for 35 minutes at least. 35 minutes to 40 minutes. Beyond that, you can open it up for questions. So it need not be the 40th minute. No. Beyond 35 minutes, you can plan to start closing it. If you close it by 36, 37 minutes also, it's perfectly fine. Okay. If at any stage you have a question, just raise your hand so that I can answer it immediately, please. Yeah. But my suggestion is, let's wait for all the questions so that you have clarity on the thing. Anything beyond that, you can just ask it. How will I keep track of time? A stopwatch will be displayed next to the student in the Zoom. Additionally, student can keep a watch next to themselves while giving the lecture. Although a short alarm will be rung at the 40th minute, a longer alarm will be rung at the 45th minute to notify the speaker that his time is up. Okay. Which verses can I select? Student can select any verse from the first 3 cantos of Srimad Bhagavatam. Yeah. Can I select more than one verse or topic? No, only one verse needs to be selected. You can speak on anything relating to that verse. You can connect that verse with any other slokas within the Bhagavatam also, or any of the other Bhagavad Shastras. You can that way. But your primary thing will be only one verse, for which you will recite the Sanskrit part, and then you will also read the translation, and if required, the purport also. So that is the way. Do I have to have a presentation PPT? No, this is not required, because this is not a presentation. It's more a lecture. It's a Bhagavatam lecture. Okay. How will the verse be displayed on Zoom? The course coordinator will do that. Since I would know which is the sloka you're going to speak on, I will display Veda base for that particular sloka, so that you do not have to share your screen or not anything. So you don't have to get into those sort of complications at any point of time. Okay. Does my video camera need to be turned on? Absolutely yes. Yeah. It's like a Bhagavatam class. It's mandatory that your video is turned on, and it has to be turned on at all the time when you're giving the lecture. And not just you, all the people who are attending the lecture also need to keep their video camera on. This is the Mayapur Institute guideline, please. So you need to keep your video camera on, because normal tendency is, as long as it's not my lecture, somebody else is doing the lecture, I'll just go about doing my own duty. At the end of 1 hour, I'll just go and give a rating, random, in between, mean and stuff. That's not fair on the student who's actually presenting it. So we need to ensure that we give it the due diligence and respect the fact that every student is making a presentation after thorough preparation. In fact, we have to take it as an opportunity that we are getting to hear the Srimad Bhagavatam 2 sessions every day. So that's the way we have to take it. So video should be on. How are the marks given? These marks are given based on what is provided in the handbook. I will also show you a particular screen which will show you as to what is the breakage of the marks. Suffice to say that the weightage for the students' rating is 30%. The weightage for the faculty rating or the faculty or the evaluators rating is 70%. So that's the way it is. So that will be the weightage which will be assigned to that. Yeah. When will I get the marks? After 1 week after all the people have presented. That's when the marks will be provided to you along with the feedback. Can I give written comments as well? Yes, it is not mandatory, but we strongly advise our students to give their valuable written feedback to other students in the feedback form, because that will go to the form to the student along with the grading sheet. So that will be more permanent instead of, as I said, we may pick on 2 students to also give a feedback during the session. But beyond that, everybody will have to anyway fill in the form. Yeah. What if I do not want to give written comments to others? It's okay if the student does not want to give, although for the growth of the devotees in general, it is a good practice to provide written feedback through the form. That's what is recommended. Yeah. Where can I give written comments to other students? There will be space in the same feedback assessment form. There it would have been provided. These are good points. These are recommended improvement points. Whatever you want to say, you can say it. And these will go to the student in an anonymous way. So you don't have to be worried that, you are naming and you don't want to antagonize somebody. That fear may not be there. So this is something which is important. When will we give other students marks? During the lecture or after the lecture? As I said, after the lecture, after the question, we will get into the phase where the Google form link will be shared. And then you will give the feedback. Immediately after that, the link will be closed, because we don't want students to be given rating much beyond the session gets over. No. Before the next student starts his presentation, that form will be closed. In that gap, that window of 3 or 4 minutes, you need to give your feedback. Yeah. How much time will be given to write the comments feedback? It says 10 minutes over here, but given the paucity of time over here, I would restrict it 4 to 5 minutes. That's what it is. So within 5 minutes, you need to complete it because this is applicable for sessions which are spanning 3 hours. So 3 hours, there is enough luxury of time. Since we have just 2 hours within which we have to cover 2 students every week. So it will be about 5 minutes for every student's feedback. Do I have to wear Vaishnava clothes in my lectures or other lectures? Students are expected to wear Vaishnava attire. However, we understand that it may not be possible due to COVID or any time difference related challenges. Hence, it's not mandatory, but it's advisable. This is for the speaker who is actually giving the Bhagavatam class. Think that you are giving this class in front of your temple, in your temple. Depending on how you would go over there, you can do the same way over here also. Who will give my lecture marks? All the students along with the course coordinators will give the marks. From the total, the final average will be given to the student as their final marks based on the weightage which I just said. 30% weightage for all the students, the mean of their marks, and 70% for the faculty or the evaluators' feedback. What if I cannot attend others' presentation? This is something which we all kind of resort to. This has to be discussed with the course coordinator in advance, and only in an emergency situation this will be allowed. Otherwise, it's mandatory. It's as good as your attendance. As you know, like for CBA to be attended, there is a requirement for 80% attendance. The same way, you need to also attend all the others' lectures. In case we find lecture is short or you're short of attendance, you may either be debarred from giving your own presentation, lecture, or there could be negative marking. Yeah. Why do I have to keep my video turned on for lectures of other students? The idea behind student lecturing is to increase the lecturing skills of the lecturer and at the same time cultivate active listening in the listeners. We are trying to develop exemplary preachers and hearers. These are all terms which have come from the Mayapur Institute. So I'm just reading them. What if I do not have a good internet connection? It's a student's responsibility to manage and procure a good computer and a stable internet connection for the course. Do we have to read Srila Prabhupada's purport in my lecture? Is it counted in the time duration? It is personal preference of the student. If the student thinks there are some paragraphs worth mentioning, then they can read. We evaluate how a student presents their understanding and not on how a student can read the Bhaktivedanta purport. For example, if somebody were to choose the first canto, first sloka, if that is the chosen thing, then we know that the purport over there runs into pages. So by the time you complete reading your purport, the class 45 minutes will be over. So obviously you're expected not to read it over there. So you can just focus on some important thing. Like a OBA, you can't just keep reading that alone. The marks are given for your independent talk. So that's where the crux of the messaging lies. So you need to plan yourself appropriately. Okay. Do I have to recite the Mangalacharan before my lecture? Yes, you can recite. It's not compulsory. But what we can also do is, as a practice, given that we are planning 2 speakers every session, I can recite it, or any one of you can recite right at the beginning, or the first speaker alone can recite it, and the second speaker need not. Safe to say that I can recite the Mangalacharan and you can directly start with your session, so that you save on that part of the class timing also. We can do it that way as well. So no need necessarily to read, or you can just say Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya and then start with your class, because we understand that time is at a premium. How would I know which day and time I have to select my lecture? So this is something which I'm going to publish over the next 2 days. I won't be deciding on when you will be presenting, but the way I will do is there'll be 2 rounds of information seeking from you. Beginning tomorrow morning, I will start a mail chain within our WhatsApp group. I'll just say the preferred sloka for me is as follows, with 1, 2, 3, and each of you on a first come first serve basis, you have to write your name, and into bracket, you have to write down which is the sloka you're going to speak on. So it's a first come first serve basis. Okay. So if somebody has already chosen a particular sloka, obviously you cannot repeat that sloka. Okay. So, so tomorrow in the morning, I will be starting this mail chain. You have time today until tomorrow morning for deciding which sloka you would like to say. And anyway, Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 1, 2, 3 is such a vast thing that it's never going to, we are just about 25 or 30 students. So even if you miss a chance of one sloka, you can always speak on any of the other slokas. There is enough, there are enough number of slokas to speak on, even if you want to speak on a particular topic. So that shouldn't be a problem. Yeah. Okay, that, and basis that, once that is decided, then I will also, at the end of the session, I will seek some volunteers for next week's session at least, because that's a little short notice. Obviously, the speakers next week, given the paucity of time, anybody who volunteers for that will get some sort of a, extra marking, I would say. We can try to ensure that, so that people are within a short period of time, they are volunteering for that. If anybody would like to volunteer at the end of the session, I will ask for 2 names. If they would like to volunteer for that, their names would be taken. Otherwise, during the course of the week, I will publish a calendar within which I would expect people to put in their preference, or I will circulate a Google form with dates indicated over here and slot A and slot B. People can opt for it. Once a slot is chosen, it's not available for the others. So that's the way. So we will decide. Obviously, this is going to run over the next 2 months at least. So we may not be able to plan all days. For some exigency, some festival, we may have to skip on a day. It gets extended by that duration. So that's the way we will plan on which day who will present. My personal suggestion to you is, don't keep it for the end. The sooner you finish it, the better. That tension is over and you have done it and completed it. Because people normally keep it to the end. They feel that, I get more time. But normal behavior is, the moment it gets extended, your preparation also gets delayed to that extent. So plan in such a way that at the earliest you finish it, and then you have enough time and concentration on the others' lectures. That's my suggestion, personal feeling. So that's you may want to consider that. Yeah. 27. What if more than one student has selected his same? Yes, Shanti Mataji, you have some question relating to this? Kindly shoot.
Prabhu, so for picking the sloka, where do you want this information? Is it just in our WhatsApp group chat group?
It will be the WhatsApp group. Yes, so that others also get a visibility into what is already taken. Yeah, so that's the way. So I will start a
Okay.
chain tomorrow, and in which case you can, so you can just say, if you happen to be the first person, you can say one, your name, and into bracket SB so and so sloka 1.1.1 or any sloka. So the next set of people know that this sloka is already taken, and they choose any other sloka. They put in their name, they write their sloka number. That's the way. Okay.
Oh, okay, thanks.
Thank you very much. So what if more than one student has selected the same lecture verse for lecturing? It's a first come first serve basis, as I explained. So others may choose from other verses. That's the expectation. Yeah. Do I have to do my audio and visual testing before the lecture? Yes, it is recommended, because we wouldn't want you to, at the point of start, you say that, it's not working. No, it's not advisable. In case you want to try out with me individually, one-to-one, to check whether the audio is working perfectly, that's perfect. I don't mind doing it. Maybe a day you can just plan a time with me, and I can support you in that. But don't come for the session if your session is expected to start at 6:30. We expect the speaker on that day to log in at least 15 minutes in advance and ensure that things are ready, so that at 6:30 on the dot you start with it. And even the second speaker can test his audio and video at that point, so that we don't lose time in all this bargaining. So that's the way we normally plan, because anything which you lose, it's your loss. That's the way it is. So you need to plan very, very carefully and meticulously. Think of it that you're doing this presentation to somebody senior, some senior devotees. That's the way we have to plan. We need to be absolutely careful on that count. Yeah. What if I fail in my lecture? God forbid, if somebody fails, there is a cutoff limit beyond which, below which one is not allowed to pass. If you fail, then at the end of it, at the end of the complete course, you will be asked to give the lecture again. And at that point of time, you will have to give the class. Of course, that will not be attended by all the students. If there are a set of students who are required to give it, then they will be attending at that point of time. So that obviously your rating will also, the next lecture, the rating will be at, you will just get a pass mark. You won't be rated at for 100 marks. You'll just be given the minimum marks at that point of time. So you tend to get impacted because of that. How many marks should I give to the other students? Now, again, reading from what MI says, standard practice is to start at 7, give more if you like something, reduce for each area of improvement. Do not give anyone 10 on 10, as it means that there is no scope for improvement. Only Lord Krishna is complete and perfect. For everyone else, we are trying to improve. These are words from MI. So I would request you to adhere to that. Mind you, these marks are under each of the categories. So for example, presentation skills, you have to give out of 10. Some other skills out of 10. So each of these you can follow this practice. That's the recommendation. Will there be question and answer at the end of the session? Yes. The presenter should complete the lecture well in time, within 40 minutes, to allow for some questions from the other students and or the coordinator and other evaluators in the balance 5 to 7 minutes. After the lecture, the course coordinator will share the verbal feedback with the students in the mood of giving upcoming students. So here as I said, we may just alter it. After the question answer session, there will be a feedback where the question, the marks will be given by the students. After that, the formal feedback by some 2 students and some of the evaluators. They will give feedback directly on what was right, what was wrong, what is the area of improvement. So that will be provided, and that will be the end of that particular speaker's lecture. That's the way we will be following. What if my internet connection goes away in the middle of the lecture? Such students will be graded for how much they have performed. However, we will wait for 5 minutes so that they can resume the session. If they do not resume within 5 minutes, we will officially end the lecture and collect the marks with feedback from other students on whatever has been performed. There will be a penalty of 5% from the total marks for not having a proper setup beforehand. So it's purely your planning. So how you plan and prepare for that, it's purely a function of that. What if my computer stops working in the middle of the lecture? Such students will again be graded for how much they have performed. However, we will wait for 5 minutes. The same explanation which was given. How will the Mayapur Institute know the students give genuine marks to other students, not just random? This is again something which we have observed. People at random, they just give some mean 66666 for everybody, which is not fair on the presenter, because the presenter, when he is presenting, he expects honest feedback, honest rating also. I think we should respect the sentiment of the speaker and give the correct marks. Having said that, Mayapur Institute also says that because the marks are collected through the online form, there is an algorithm placed where thereby our developers that will find out those students who are either providing random marks which do not match the pattern as per majority votes, or those who are providing the same marks to everyone. Such students may be penalized. So just as in the CBA, you cannot do a alt tab and move elsewhere, this is a check control which exists. So we would request you to please adhere to that. What are the particulars of marking or giving marks? How will it be assessed? This is something which I will speak about immediately after this. How can I maintain eye contact in Zoom lecture? Eye contact in Zoom lecture means that the student should look at the camera so that the viewing audience understands that the speaker is talking to them and not reading from somewhere. Normally, these are some of the questions, of course. Some tips I would like to give. When you prepare the lecture, you would prepare your notes, which will have tons to speak about for hours together. You try to cut short on it, do a couple of practice rounds in front of a recording, try to record it, see how much time you are actually speaking, then try to cut out those things which you feel are extras and need not be spoken about. Supposing you are speaking 5 examples, 5 pastimes, try to cut it out to 4 or 3 so that you still adhere to the time. While all 5 may be interesting, it's not necessary for you to give all 5, because the incremental marks you get for the 4th and 5th may be much lesser compared to, if you lose the marks on account of not leaving time for questioning. So try to practice on your own and try to cut short your notes to such an extent that you are able to adhere to the time. Obviously, it's not going to be possible for you to always look at the computer all the time, because you have to refer to your notes also. We understand, appreciate that. So maximum time you have to speak. So keep the cues, your notes in front of you, so that you just look at the point and then start speaking on that. Or if you are referring something, you just look at it and then refer over there. That's the expectation. Do not read directly from the script, because if you do that, that's surely considered as negative and you will be penalized for that. So please do not read. Like a Bhagavatam class, you need to render a lecture rather than reading something verbatim. That's not allowed at all. Okay. Now, I will just tell you, this is something which is a extract from your from the handbook. So these are the various parameters under which you will be evaluated. Okay. So the first will be presentation skills. Here, this carries a weightage of 20%. Okay. Here, you're expected to follow these things. You can just read it. I wouldn't want to repeat it. This part is there in your handbook also. Yeah, I just want to reiterate that. Okay. Next is understanding skills. This is where you will be. So the first part is more the softer skills. How loud you are you able to connect with the audience? You're able to see, are you able to maintain eye contact with the camera? And how you pace your class. Are you running through, or are you very, very slow? All these softer aspects come to the fore over here. We won't grade you on your grammar or your quality of English. No, that's not the purpose over here. But how well you manage your time, how well you pronounce your Sanskrit shlokas, are you audible enough? And all these aspects get evaluated in the presentation skills. Okay. Next is the understanding. This carries a weightage of 30%. Now, this is where your understanding of the sloka comes in, as to how you're able to link it. Just as we write in OBA, 2 people writing the same OBA may be completely different, right, on the same topic. Similarly, how you have understood it, how you discuss it, how you relate to the various aspects, this is something which comes over here. So this is very, very clear. This is thing. Now, it is expected that you need to quote at least about 4 slokas verbatim, I mean from memory, while you are giving your class. Okay, so for example, if you are speaking about your chosen sloka is 1.1.1, yeah, expectation will be that you surely recite that as one of the slokas verbatim. You from memory you say that, and other than that, you at least quote 4 slokas relating to that particular class. Yeah, so it can be from any of the anywhere within the Bhagavatam, but it needs to be 4 memorizations, 4 slokas need from any other Bhakti Shastras. So it need not be from 1 to 3. It can be from either 1 to 3 or anywhere in the Bhagavatam or any of the other Bhakti Shastras. We know Bhakti Shastras means all either Bhagavad Gita or any of the other books. So it can be from any of them. So you need to surely ensure. And these again carry marks. So if you give the lecture without actually quoting the slokas, then that again will you will not get rating for that. So when the evaluator evaluates you, he will have a tick mark to say, yeah, he has chanted 1 sloka, 2 sloka, 3 sloka, 4 sloka. He will give marks for that also. So that is important. Yeah, preaching. So preaching application is necessary. This, as I said, you get 20% weightage for that. So when you choose your sloka also, choose it in such a way that you have some preaching application which you can convey. So that carries a weightage of 20%. So you need to accordingly call it out and speak on that. You need to speak on Srila Prabhupada's mood and mission. What is the mood and mission which is displaying in that particular sloka? Some of the slokas, it's very obvious. Some of the slokas, it may be, not obvious. So you need to again keep that also in mind when you're actually giving your class. Supposing it's a 1-line purport and it doesn't give much chance for identifying the mood of Srila Prabhupada, then you may want to choose some sloka which has a clear identification of the mood also. So that also carries 15 marks, 15%. And the last but not the least, it's the personal application. Your personal experience, how you have tried to imbibe this sloka or how you have internalized it, how you have practiced it. So that also carries weight. So all these parameters carry the due weightage, and you need to ensure that these are taken care when you give the lecture. So that's why I say structure your lecture in such a way that all these items get ticked off. At the same time, give it the due weightage in terms of time also. Don't spend 40 minutes in personal application because the weightage of that is only 15%. Give importance to the understanding part because that's where the crux is. 30% weightage is on that and the 20% over there. So ensure that you tick off all the boxes. At the same time, you also ensure that you adhere to the time limit. That's the important aspect. Okay. Now, before I open up for question, I'll just show you another thing, which is the the rating scale. Okay. Are you able to see this Excel sheet now, please?
No, Prabhuji.
Okay, I will stop sharing and then again reshare it. 1 second. Yeah, are you able to see it?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yeah.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes. So once the feedback forms are filled in, this is how the this is Shanti Mataji. Can I request all of you to go on mute, please? Shanti, you have a question? Please go ahead, Mataji.
Okay, so for the shloka, are we able to quote as part of our lecture from other books? So say if I'm talking about one topic from my shloka, but then I have like an example from say Nectar of Devotion in chapter so-and-so, so they say blah, 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 that kind of thing. Can we do that?
Yes, you can. Like a Bhagavad Shastra, you can quote from anywhere. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Bhakti Rasamrita, Sindhu or Bhagavad Gita, anywhere you can quote. So, so there are two parts to it. One, you can refer, just 1 second. So you can quote from anywhere. And first part is for you to quote the slokas. You need to quote at least those 4 slokas are there. Plus, if you want to refer to any of the purports from the other Bhagavad Shastras also, you can use it. Typically, as we do it as part of the Bhagavatam class, when you speak, people quote from all the Bhagavad Shastras, right? So you can quote from anywhere. That's not a problem at all. So for example, when you are speaking about Bhagavatam on, say, supposing on demigods, you want to quote a particular sloka from the Bhagavad Gita. So you can quote the sloka from the Bhagavad Gita and say that in this particular sloka, which is so-and-so, you can quote the sloka and then say, Srila Prabhupada has in the purport said so-and-so about the demigods. So that can also be used. So you can seamlessly go across the Bhagavad Shastras. But the requirement is that you at least quote 4 slokas by heart. That's the way.
Okay.
you.
Okay. And so are we going to get all this information that you're showing on the screen? Is this going to be sent to us by email?
I'll be sharing it on WhatsApp, Mataji.
Okay.
Yeah. So maybe
Perfect.
this presentation, this Excel is just information. I'll be sharing that note, that 38 questions that I will share it for sure. But this is just for your understanding because it's just an extension of the rating scale which I showed as to how we will be plugging the ratings. That's what it is. Yeah.
Okay,
So
perfect.
this I may not share because this is more internal to the coordinator. So once
Okay.
all the students give their respective ratings, so this is what will get populated for each student. Okay. So that means on the left, we have all the parameters and on the top, all the ratings which are provided by the students under each of those categories. So this is what, these are all frequencies. So this is what will be put and the facilitators marks will be put over here. So this will be put and then the weightages will be 70% and 30%. And after applying these weightages, this is the final marks which will be provided. So that means this person has scored about 85% overall. So whatever the weightage for lecture within the overall 100 marks of Bhakti Vaibhav 1, you will get 85% of that. That's the way this will go through. So you may get communicated, you may be told only this last column. That's what you may be told. But we haven't decided whether we'll show this complete column, but you will surely get to see the last column for sure as to what are your ratings under each of these parameters and what is your total score. That's what you will get to see at your end when we share the feedback along with the qualitative verb, written feedback, which if somebody has said, you can improve your speed, you can be a little slow, your language, your pronunciation is not correct. If somebody writes those things, then you will get that feedback also. Whatever they indicate through the Google form, that will be shared with all of you. Okay, so I just want to, I have a couple of other things to discuss. I know we are running a little beyond time, but I want to open the forum for any questions, please, so that if you have, just let's go through it. And before, again, this complete exercise will be only for the students, please. Yeah, it won't be done for the listeners because I have received some questions from others, whether we can. I respect the fact that more people would like to avail of this opportunity. But at this point of time, we are just opening it up to for the students. And beyond that, we can work out some sort of an arrangement where we can try to open it up for the, the listeners also. So that's our constraint at this point of time, please. Yes, Madan Mohan Prabhu, please.
Prabhuji, thank you for the detailed instruction. And Prabhuji, will it be every day or only on Saturday?
Yeah, if it can be every day, I don't mind, Prabhu, because then we can complete it in a faster pace. In fact, that was one of the things I will discuss at the end. But let's just look at the other questions and then come back to this topic, Prabhu, because that's also a point which I want to close on in this call. Yeah, thank you for raising that question. Yes, Prem Kishore, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, I know you might have mentioned this and I might have missed it. So you said first come first for selecting the shloka. is that the first come first for giving the class, or
No. For selecting the slokas. For selecting the slokas. So there are two decision points from the students, which I need. Okay. One is which sloka you would like to choose and speak on. Okay. That is something which I'll trigger the process tomorrow morning by starting a chain within the WhatsApp group where you can give your name and the sloka which you would like to speak on. That's point number one. Okay. And the second is when you would like to speak. Maybe in a day or two, I'll create a very, very simple Google form and send it, asking each of you to fill in and make your choice in terms of which day you would like to make a presentation on that. Yeah. So that's one. So basis that I can try to schedule as to how, when we have to, have you, and then I will publish. Since you have made a choice on this, your chance is on the 15th of January. For example, so that could be the way. So I'll publish a schedule that way also. Yes, please.
one more last question, Prabhu. You mentioned that it will be on Saturdays. So does that mean that there won't be any Bhagavatam teachings or class by?
Yeah, there won't be any
Prabhu
class on by His Grace Padmanabhan Prabhu till this complete exercise is over.
So that will be for 2 months. There won't be any other classes.
Yeah. Having said that, I'm still going to speak to Prabhuji as to given that it's again dependent on how frequently we do this. Yeah. So if it is likely to be only on Saturdays, we are talking about 30 people here. So even assuming 2 speakers speak per day, we are talking about 15 weeks. 15 weeks is almost 3 months. Yeah. So 3.5 months. So that means for 3 months, we won't have any class. So I'm going to check with Prabhu as to whether we can do it in 2 tranches where we do the first slot of some speakers, then we cover 1 unit and then go into the next. I'm going to check with him on that. Basis that I will get back. But
or another suggestion can be like Padmanabhan Prabhu can give his teachings regularly, and every week one person can present. So that will create easiness for everybody. Probably, I don't know.
No, that will be and it will be a stretch also. Anyway, we'll reserve this to what point to what Madan Mohan Prabhu said. It will be we'll just discuss at the end. I just had 1 or 2 thoughts on that. We'll discuss on that separately, Prabhu.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Yes, Shanti Mataji, you had another question.
Can you hear me?
Yes, please.
Okay, so in regards to when do they start? Sorry, I got kicked out for some reason out of the. Did you say what's the date that everything starts?
We start from next week, next Saturday. So that's what it is. And whether it's Saturday and any other day, that's something which we are yet to decide on. Please.
Okay, perfect.
Any other questions, anybody, please? Yes, Subal Prabhu, please go ahead. Subala Prabhu, you can unmute yourself and speak, please.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, can I use the cell phone for lecture?
If there is no other option, I would say yes. If you have a chance to even have a laptop just for that lecture, nothing like it, because yeah, I think it should be fine. I leave the choice to you, Prabhu. If you can manage a laptop and have it in front of you, because it's after all your choice, Prabhu. And God forbid if for example, I'm just thinking ahead, your mobile keeps falling and it creates a disturbance. While speaking, you wouldn't want any disturbance yourself as a speaker. And the others also wouldn't want to see, a disturbed presentation. So to that extent, I leave it to you, Prabhu. If you can take appropriate measures to, even if a mobile, you're able to do justice and give a clean presentation, I think it's fine. So it's fine by me, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Venkat Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji,
Yes.
question is like, can we also include our let's say scientific, if we see anything that in this real world sometime happening, and then can we connect it to the shloka, or it has to be
No, anything, Prabhu, anything. As in a Bhagavatam class, we can make it as realistic and as practical as possible. Think that you're giving this class in front of your own set of devotees. So obviously, it can be a mix of anything as long as it's related.
Yes.
If you try to connect something which is totally unrelated, but you give some thin thread for that, the evaluator or the audience should not feel that just for the sake of bringing in some topic you have tried to make the connection. So it should be really relevant to the subject on which you are speaking. As long as you feel you're doing justice in that regard, perfectly fine, Prabhu. No issues.
Sure. Thank you.
Yes, Sucharu Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Thanks, Prabhuji. It was very well explained. In my understanding, are you going to give like 30 or 40 shlokas and we all pick it up? You'll be giving more shlokas, or how do we go? Like you'll be just mentioning few shlokas every week and then we just choose?
No, absolutely not. I am opening it up. All the 3 cantos are open for you. All the shlokas from 3 cantos are open for you. You pick any one shloka from canto 1 or canto 2 or canto 3 of Bhagavatam. And you tell me you would like to speak on that particular shloka. I'm not going to give any shloka otherwise. Having chosen that shloka, you prepare your presentation. Within that, you intertwine or intermesh or whatever you say. 4 other shlokas also you need to memorize and speak seamlessly, in connection with the primary shloka. So that's the way, Mataji. So it's purely the students who select which shloka they would like to speak on. Because earlier there used to be a case where people used to be assigned, but that's not, students don't like it. So we are giving the complete freedom. You may be comfortable in a particular area. You may have already given a class in your temple in a particular shloka. Feel free, perfectly fine. So you can indicate that shloka to us and we will allot that shloka to you. We'll tag it with you and you will have to speak on that.
So we only have to just mention it to you which shloka so that others will not have pick up the same shloka.
Correct. That's right. Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Yes, Subal Prabhu, you have one more question, Prabhu?
No, I'm okay. Thanks.
Yeah, you can kindly lower your hand. And same with Rajesh Prabhu. Do you have one more question, Prabhu?
No, Prabhu. Sorry, I didn't.
Okay, Shanti Mataji.
45 minutes, roughly how many words is that if we're writing out the lecture? Would you know, or how many pages?
I can't make out, Mataji. The easiest thing to do is record it. That's the way, because it's one thing to read it, it's another thing to write it. But when you speak, you're thinking and speaking. So not speak exactly what you have written. So it may not be a direct correlation between the number of words, what you speak. So that's why I said, as a safe thing, try to record it. Think that you're giving a class, start the clock and start speaking, and then give the complete class, and then relook at the recording and see where all you spent time. You may be surprised that you gave a class for 2 hours. Then you know that 2 hours needs to be cut short to 40 minutes. Then you give one more round. 2 hours may reduce to 1 hour. Then from 1 hour to 40 minutes. So there is an effort in that, but that's the methodical way to go about it, Mataji. That's how some of us did it. So I would recommend that.
Okay.
Jai Manohar Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat. I'm talking about, I'm looking at page 181 from the book. It says about Vaishnava integrity. What I do not understand is, show how material from topic could be misused.
No. That's why I said, don't look at that, Prabhu, because that is for the presentation. That is not for the Bhagavatam lecture. Okay. When you do the presentation, that is Vaishnava integrity also needs to be covered. That's why I said the topic for today is more on the, the Bhagavatam lecture part. So 182 page may be wrong in that case, because this is a MI document. But if you look at the index of your handbook, somewhere after the 6th or 7th, there will be a mention over there, Srimad Bhagavatam lecture. So you need to look at that aspect, Prabhu. So that's what will give you as to what are the parameters. And these parameters do not include Vaishnava integrity for the Bhagavatam lecture. It's there for the next presentation, which is a topic for a different day.
Okay, Prabhuji, thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions, please? Okay, now I just, okay, Jai Manohar Prabhu, I hope do you have one more question, Prabhu, or this is earlier round you raised your hand?
Yeah, sorry, Prabhu, I'll lower the hand. Yeah,
No problem, that's fine.
that was answered. Thanks.
Yeah, so I will just stop sharing my screen. So now the question comes, as I said, we have, before even discussing, okay, we have 1 day per week, okay, for the class currently, which is the current slot, which is 6:30 to 8:30 India time. And we have 2 speakers who can speak in that. Even if we fit 2 speakers, it will take at least 2.5 hours, the experience, because after one person is completed, we give a break of about 5 minutes. People will take time to join. So all sorts of things. So a minimum of, sometimes the feedback session runs a little more. So that 2 hours itself will go on to 2.5 hours. So the first thing which I want to propose to this group is, even if we assume that we do this only on Saturdays, I would want to start the session about 1 hour before time, because one of the people we are talking to do the evaluation is Sudama Prabhu, who, as we know, is in a time zone which is 2.5 hours ahead of India time. So that means 6:30 our time is already 9 p.m. his time. But he has kindly said that he is okay to join this as an evaluator as long as it starts 1 hour before time. So I want to take a quick. Supposing we were to start it instead of 6:30 India time, maybe at 5:30 India time, be very difficult for all of you, or can you all accommodate it, please? Because that way we will get, even if we start at 5:30 India time, 5:30, 6 to 6:30, 6:30 to 7:30, maximum up to 8 o'clock, even if we go, that would still be 10:30 for Sudama Prabhu, which should be okay for him. And given that most of you are in the positive morning zone, I think it shouldn't be a problem. Singapore, I think it's still anyway making it earlier. Anyway, it's well within the time we do for these classes. So supposing we were to start it 1 hour ahead of this, will that suit all of you, or do any of you have serious challenges in terms of any other class which is clashing and all? If it is a smaller minority, I would request you to please accommodate it for the next couple of months. Otherwise, I just would like to hear from you whether anybody has serious challenges. Yes, Shantamata.
So you said that we would start an hour early? Like,
That's right.
Okay, that's, for me, it works really well, but I don't know how anyone else.
Okay. Anybody who has a problem, you can just raise your hand, please, Prabhu, if you have any serious challenges. Yes, Rajesh Prabhu, please.
Prabhuji, can it be made like half an hour? The reason is it's already like 6 a.m. when the class starts, so it would be 1 hour would be 5 a.m. That would be a little challenging.
Okay. Is that the feeling with all the others also? I respect the fact, Prabhu, Venkat Prabhu, Rajesh Prabhu, but I just would like to hear from all the others also.
Sure, Prabhu, sure, Prabhu, sure.
And I don't want to again impose a majority rule over here. I respect your issue over here, but I just would like to hear from others also, please. Is 1 hour before, is it okay, or can be accommodated, or it's only for a short couple of weeks we are talking about, maximum 1 or 2 months. So, and that too once a week, once is it something which is feasible? Consider. Silence means acceptance. I am just taking it that people are acceptable to it unless you raise concerns. Anybody has any concerns? Otherwise, please. Okay, so I take it as yes. Rajesh, if you can. Yes, Shantamati. Okay, so if you can kindly, just accommodate it just for once a week. If that's not too much of a problem, it would really, help, because you'd appreciate that, otherwise we are going close to midnight for Sudhama Prabhu, and he has need to be part of these sessions. I'm just requesting him to be part of this. That's the only reason, Prabhu. Could
No,
kindly,
no problem. No problem. We'll take it. Thank you.
thanks,
Right.
thanks for your kind understanding. So that's point number one. So we kind of agree that, we will start our sessions 1 hour in advance. Yeah. And try to go maybe 5:30 India time to about 8 or 8:15 India time, depending on how it goes. But we'll try to accommodate 2 speakers per day. Now the question comes whether we need to do it only once a week, or whether we are open to doing it any other day in the week also. And any other day means it can be only a Sunday evening. So is that something which is agreeable to anybody? Of course, I need to check all the other things, like right from Zoom availability to availability of Sudhama Prabhu, all those things. But is that something which we need to pursue at all as an option, or it's a strict no-no from your side? So that if we do that, then maybe the number of sessions can be reduced, and we can cover all the students within a shorter, exactly half the period we can cover, and quickly we can move into the next unit. It's all a function of how soon we complete things. Otherwise, everything gets, it's all a critical path, as they say. Otherwise, everything will be one after the other, sequential. Let me ask it the other way. If Sunday also we were to do similar sessions, same time, would it be too much of a problem for anybody? Similarly, anybody can, you can raise your hand, please. Mr. Bal Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, now we're gonna do the same way that we've been doing. Only one day in a week, and it is Saturday.
No, that Saturday is confirmed, 5:30 to 8:15 India time. That is something which we have frozen. Now the question is, can we do it Saturday and Sunday also the same time? That's the question. That means 2 days a week we'll be doing it just for these lecture series. Can we do that?
No, Prabhuji, only Saturday.
Okay, you have challenges on Sunday, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. Radha Gopinath Prabhu?
Hare Krishna, yeah, Prabhuji, I prefer only Saturdays. Sunday, we have some other service example. So cannot do.
Okay, fine. Madhavpuri Prabhu, I assume you also have some challenges, right?
It won't work for me, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, no problem. That's fine. So for now, let's make a beginning with only Saturday sessions, and we'll see how it goes. And basis that we will. Yes, Anandini Mataji, you had some point, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji, same thing. Sunday will be difficult because we are committed to Seva, the local temple.
No problem. That's fine. I just wanted
Thank you,
to feel the
Prabhuji.
pulse.
Thank you.
No problem. That's fine. Okay. So for now, we will go ahead only with Saturdays. In 1 hour ahead of time, we will start. So 5:30 India time, we will start. And we will go on till 8:15. And that's what we will do. Let me just check my list. Okay. Now to come to the last point. Any other questions, anybody, please, on what we have discussed?
Hare Krishna,
Yeah.
Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
I was just wondering, if we use breakout rooms, can't we do more participants, more students in 1 week?
Yeah, but the coordinator is one, the evaluator is one, and the idea is that everybody benefits from the others' lectures. That's the objective. And in fact, when I did my Bhakti Vaibhav, our case was, our normal sessions were about 2.5 hours. But when the lecture series happened, it used to run for 4 hours, and on a Saturday morning and a Sunday morning. So each day we used to cover 4 lectures, and this 2 days continuously. And that's how we had a batch size of 45 people. And we completed it within about 4 to 6 weeks. Now, it's purely a function of everybody attending it. Otherwise, leaving out some people, and it just doesn't serve the purpose. I'll Anyway, I'll throw this question open within the group also and see as to how many people are okay with Sunday. And if it's a small population, then I may still go ahead with it. Let me just, get your feedback. I'll just circulate a Google form also and seek your feedback. If it's still possible for the students, we can see how we can still do Sundays also. Because it's as I said, otherwise your Bhakti Vaibhav session gets extended by another 2 months, 3 months, as simple as that. And the idea would be, I believe, to finish it as early as possible. So in that sense, if we can just stretch a bit and accommodate just for these couple of weeks, I think that would still make matters much simpler for the larger audience. That's my feeling. Yes, Rajesh Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Yes,
Thanks for the clarification, Prabhu.
Just like others also have services on Sunday morning time here. So it could be a challenge.
That's fine. Fine. Then, so now the question comes, do we have any 2 volunteers who can speak next week? Any brave hearts who would like to take up, who would like to be the front runners? I know it's being a little macho, but anybody who's comfortable making a presentation next week? If there is anybody, please ping me individually. Just drop a line to me. Of course, I know it will be a serious challenge to prepare and be ready by next Saturday. But if any of you are keen, are comfortable, just drop a line to me and I will schedule it from next Saturday itself, please. We want to start it from next Saturday so that we do not lose any time. And that's the point, please.
Prabhu?
Yes, Mataji.
I put my name in to be the first one.
Okay, you're okay to making a presentation next week, Mataji?
Yes, I put it in the group chat, which Canto, I did that about 20 minutes ago.
Okay. That's like the first advantage. But instead of others just putting their names immediately, I just will create a master list. Otherwise, I need to look at each message. This way, I can just look at the last message and I know all the people along with their things. So please don't add to that list which Mataji has. Since she's chosen to be the first speaker, I give her the benefit of this thing. But others, just wait till, or maybe I'll just start the chain immediately so that you can start putting your names on that. So bear with me for the next half an hour at least, so that I can start the chain. Then each person can incrementally add to that list, please. That's the idea. Okay. So thank you very much, Shanti Mataji. Very, very kind of you. And thanks for accommodating also. You will get due credit for this. Any other speaker also, if they would like to opt for this coming week, they can also ping me or write to me one-to-one. I can accommodate them also, please. Okay. So unless any other questions are there, I know we have gone beyond time. It's late for some people, devotees in Singapore. My apologies for this. But unless there are any other questions, we can conclude this meeting. Any other last questions, anybody at all? I hope this complete thing is clear. And if at least the basis is clear, you may always have doubts. That's fine. You can always ping me. As long as this is good enough for you to start your preparations on, I think that's good enough. That's the way. Okay. Thank you very much, everybody. Vanchikalpatarubhyascha, Kripasindhubhyevacha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha, Anantakoti Vaishnavvrinda Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Gurudev ki jai. Jai God, Sitana Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. All the very best to all of you and your preparation.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.